A few years ago, I started talking to a guy. We had a mutual friend who introduced us. We went to different schools. Within 4 months we were dating. He was very loving, caring, got me cute little gifts. I'm telling you all of this because it is very hard to doubt a man like that. I found comfort in him. And when that kind of love hits you at a young age, it is dangerous most of the time. Anyway, the problem was, whenever we met, he never had his phone with him. He had excuses each time, but it didn't bother me much because, as I said, he never gave me a reason to think he would cheat on me. A little while into the relationship, he had problem with my male friends. All my social media presence started to bother him. Again, I was in love, so I cut off a lot of my friends, I deleted a lot of my socials and did what made him feel pleased. I would always try to make him happy, but at the end he would find something to fight about. After a few months he started to ghost me and it hurt. It felt like a sudden drug withdrawal. I demanded to see his phone at that point, and there were multiple chats with other girls. One particular girl was even dating him. Now when I tell you that I was devastated, I really was. I was physically ill. I couldn't leave my bed without support. He asked for a chance to explain himself and I gave it to him. He told me that the messages weren't sent by him but his friends. Apparently his friends had access to his social media accounts and they were just having a little fun. It made zero sense. The girl was literally reacting to his stories, sent him very long and romantic messages on his birthday. I wanted to think this through but I couldn't. He got his friends involved and they all told me I didn't love my boyfriend because they were all confessing everything and that he was innocent, but I still didn't believe him. Even if he was innocent, this was a big deal. I had gone through all the messages and he was telling her everything about himself. The places he went, the things he did. I told him I needed some time apart to think, but he threatened me that he will kill himself if I didn't forgive him. I was scared and all his friends pressurized me to forgive him, so I did. We were back together. Now that the drama was over, I had a lot of time to think. If I would ask him any questions, he would simply say he didn't know. How do you not know? He started to get irritated whenever I tried to bring up the topic. He would act like nothing had happened and we were a happy couple since the beginning. All he had to say was, "I have promised to never hurt you again, which I will keep." I have no explanations for whatever happened, but I can assure you that I was never talking to any girl. It was a stupid mistake which I wasn't even a part of. I realize you feel hurt, but it makes me feel terrible when you try to accuse me of something I did not do. There was never a logical discussion, only emotional manipulation. The only thing he would tell me is that I needed to trust him, we did not need to discuss it further, and that he swears upon his life that he was innocent. Day by day I became very bitter. I started to give him the same attitude he used to give me. I controlled all his social media, and I would throw tantrums about every single thing. I started to treat him the way he had treated me in the past. It hurt being like that, but a part of me felt very satisfied seeing him so miserable. I would tell him to his face that I hated him and that I was still with him because I wanted revenge and not because I was worried he would kill himself. This was not true, but I liked the look on his face whenever I said that. I would threaten to break up with him, KMS, whenever we got into huge fights. This continued for months before I realized how fucked up I was. I started to have emotional outbursts IRL. Anger outbursts, anxiety, breakdowns, and panic attacks. My whole personality had changed. A part of me was not ready to let it go just yet, so I continued to make his life hell. One day he told me he was tired and that he couldn't do it anymore. He told me that he realized his mistake and that I have punished him enough. He told me that he loved me but didn't know how to make me believe him. He was crying. Was he admitting that he cheated on me? Did he really mean what he said? I didn't know how to feel anymore. I couldn't realize if it was fake or real. That night I had a very severe panic attack and stayed at the hospital for the rest of the night. I couldn't sleep. I had made my whole life about this revenge. I had terrible grades and literally no friends. I didn't want to do this anymore. I spent the next few days thinking about everything and everyone that was affected by this relationship. I couldn't spend the rest of my life like this, right? Miserable, no hobby, friends or anything. So I decided that it was finally time to let it go and work on my life, which was already in shambles. I apologized, broke up with him and left. This was months ago. I am not in a position to defend my actions, but all I can say is that I am very sorry for finding peace in someone's suffering regardless of what they had done to me. My best friend had betrayed me. I came from a shitty household and had no real life. I realized that it was not just revenge. I used to dump all the frustration about my life upon him. No, I'm not justifying my terrible behavior. I just want to let go this feeling of guilt. Life has been very hard and it's just tough to start over with the very little amount of things left.